The Masindi Mphephu Foundation has welcomed the Apex Court's judgment dismissing Toni Mphephu Ramabulana's application for leave to appeal against a judgment which set aside the decision to appoint him as the king of the Vhavenda Traditional Council. The court ruled in favor of Masindi Mphephu, a princess of the Vhavenda royal family. The princess launched a cross-appeal against the decision of the Supreme Court of Appeal back in 2019. Now, for more on this, I'm joined by Ntsie Netshitomboni, who is a strategic advisor for the Masindi Mphephu Foundation. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Let me first get your initial reactions to the Apex Court's judgment.
We were quite happy because we've been looking forward to this type of a judgment for a long time. And the fact that it was made by the Apex Court at least instills confidence that we are on the right track.
So for the benefit of those who might not have followed this particular story, just give us some context as to where this protracted legal battle stems from.
It's quite a long story. I'll try to make it short.
Yeah.
Masindi Mphephu is the daughter of Dimbanyika. Dimbanyika passed away in 1997 and she was only 5 years old. Now, by Venda custom, she couldn't come into the throne immediately. So her uncle, Toni, who was the Ndumi to her father, had to take over the reins. But when the time came when he was supposed to leave the reins, he refused. And in 2012, when she came of age, she approached the court, the High Court in Toronto, to review the decision of the royal family to anoint Toni as a king. And that review from 2012 until 2016, it couldn't move. There were quite a number of stumbling blocks that were put in a way. But the main thing was that she didn't have the funds to take up the matter legally. And in 2016, when the president recognized Toni, and when we became aware that he was about to be installed as the king, then we approached the High Court and they got an interdict to stop the president from installing him as the king.
Right.
And then later on, Judge Makgoba came and then he gave a ruling that no, we were not supposed to stop him, and that's when we took the matter to the Supreme Court of Appeal. And the Supreme Court of Appeal ruled in our favor to say that the decision of the Royal Family Council to put Toni as a king was wrong, and the recognition by the president was wrong. Therefore, both those decisions were put aside. But the Supreme Court of Appeal did not pronounce itself clear on what must happen in the meantime, but they stayed his position. Now, 13 months later, we were happy to go back to Toronto High Court, but when we were about to go to Toronto High Court, the Toni team then approached the Apex Court to appeal the decision, way out of the required time, and this is what came out of their appeal. But we did cross appeal to say that if the Apex Court wants to listen to Toni's appeal, then we are cross-appealing to say that this matter must be ventilated in the Apex Court and shouldn't go back to Toronto because it has been 9 years. But otherwise, we are happy with the judgment because then the Apex Court decided that the staying of the order should be set aside, and therefore the royal family should no longer recognize Toni as a king. And that is what makes us happy.
Right. I want to take part of the princess's own statement where she has since reacted to this court judgment saying that the decision restores confidence in the judicial process. Just speak to us a bit more about her reaction to this particular court judgment.
Look, a case couldn't normally take 9 years. And from 2012 to 2016, there has been stumbling blocks put on a way. So, you know, when they say justice delayed is justice denied, she has always felt that the system is failing her. And when we went to Toronto High Court and the judge ruled against her, which we felt that it was unbecoming of a officer of justice, look, she could have lost confidence in the court system. But in the Supreme Court of Appeal, the pronouncements restored that confidence, and we fully believe that in South Africa, yes, justice will always prevail. So that is what she emphasizes, that the justice system's integrity really is on the high.
So in extension, the princess has also said that she is willing to find a way to restore the matter amicably. So as we wrap up, what steps can we expect going forward? I mean, according to the statement, the princess's legal team remains open to discussions while we also begin the work to have the matter enrolled in the High Court in Thohoyandou. Just explain that process to us.
Look, the princess has always said that, she's convinced that there's no other way she will be a queen. And this battle is unnecessary because it only puts, it only compromises the Vhavenda people. So she is appealing that sanity should reign and people should sit down, discuss this thing, because everybody knows that she was robbed of a throne. So let's just do the right thing and resolve it without necessarily going for further embarrassment, because if it goes to Thohoyandou High Court, the evidence that is going to be led there will be an embarrassment to the regent. And it's not necessary. And the division in the family is not necessary. So she's prepared to sit down and say, let's agree, people have fought, let's make peace. My niece, you can then ascend to your power, and then let's make peace. And she'll be happy to do that. But look, if they don't do that, there's no way she's going to kneel down and beg for them to accept it. So we'll be enrolling the matter in the High Court so that it stays on the roll and we ventilate the merits of the case.
Mr. Ntsie Netshitomboni, of course, he's from the Mphephu Foundation, which represents the princess, as she has also said that she is willing to find a way to amicably resolve this ongoing and protracted legal battle.